Hi guys. So today I'm going to talk about kinds of muscle hypertrophy or the kinds of muscle building that one can do and elicit a certain response against it. A lot of youngsters who go to the gym, they basically go and train, they do a lot of reps, they get a lot of blood flowing, a lot of sarcoplasm, a lot of fluid flowing in their muscles that causes the pump or swelling of the muscles. It looks great in the gym, but as soon as you go out, couple of hours here and there and you're flat again. That pump goes away. And you kind of wonder whether your training is working or not. But the problem is that there have been a lot of bodybuilders, a lot of influence of celebrities, a lot of influence of fitness, fitness gurus out there who only prescribe only one side of the coin. They don't want you to, or they maybe don't know, want you to venture into the other side of the coin. Okay, so there are always two faces when you talk about muscle hypertrophy, and there is actually a way where you could really get a permanent sort of a pump where you've trained hard and you go and rest, but you're still rock hard. Okay, I've spoken about this in my videos pertaining to big lifts of squat, bench and deadlift, overhead press. Check them out. I'm going to link them below. But however, to start off, you have, this is your muscle. Okay, so this is a cross-sectional area of a muscle. If I take my bicep, I take it out and I cut it, that cross-section of that bicep from the front is this. So this is the muscle. Okay, this is this fluid, and these are the fibers, better known as myofibrils. Okay, so if I talk about muscle hypertrophy, you could either lift heavy weights, low reps with a lot of rest in between, a lot of sets, or you could do a lot of reps with a lighter weight and rest less, make it a metabolic sort of a bodybuilding sort of a workout. Okay, so we have heavy weights, we have low reps, more rest, a sort of a strength eliciting training, and we have lighter weight, higher reps, low rest. With this sort of training, the muscle size does grow, but the muscle size grows because you are growing more myofibrils, or the fibers, growing solid inside solid. Okay, so this is solid, you're growing solid inside solid. The rest is fluid. Now, why the muscle size increases? It's because you're pushing a lot of sticks into maybe a wrap. So that wrapper, or a balloon maybe. A limp balloon, you insert a lot of sticks, it grows. So you can, it's kind of analogous to a lot of muscle fibers being generated and grown into a muscle, and it grows thick. Similarly, when you do lighter weights, higher reps and low rest, which elicits what we call sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Here we had, because you are increasing a lot of myofibrils, it's called myofibrillar hypertrophy, or we also call it as a dense deep tissue multiplication. I've talked about deep tissue damage because you're really damaging it deep, actin myosin, those muscle fibers, and then they grow stronger and grow more. Here we are not doing that. We are only bringing a lot of fluid, a lot of sarcoplasm, or a lot of pump into that muscle. So this is the cross section. Muscle is growing. It's growing here also. It's growing here as well because of this sarcoplasm fluid, which consists of ATP, glycogen, proteins, a lot of different things, small myofibrils as well. So what is happening is the number of myofibrils, the solid into the solid, isn't growing, but the fluid inside the solid is growing. So you're growing bigger, but you're growing bigger because of the fluid and not because of the solid sticks into that balloon. So the point is, when generally the 90% of the population of the bodybuilding culture or the fitness culture are here, who tend to think that doing more is better, sadly they get the pump and then the pump goes away. It comes back. Whereas if you try and experience it yourself, or you try and maybe follow a few great bodybuilders like maybe Dorian Yates, if you follow likes of Branch Warren, follow likes of Mike O'Hearn, look at the density of that muscle. Look at the kind of weights those guys could lift. Okay, even Arnold and Franco Columbu, the greats, used to power lift before they went into that sarcoplasmic higher bodybuilding. Okay, and look at that muscle. Look at the high intensity muscle of Mike Menzer. Look at the muscle of the swollen bodybuilders today. You get to know the difference. Look at the muscle of Eddie Cohen, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, the power lifter. Okay, you're gonna see a lot of difference of quality. You know, there's gonna be a little difference in size. Maybe you can gain a lot of size with my sarcoplasmic. You can grow huge, but you cannot grow dense and thick and that grainy without this. Okay, so what you're doing is you're breaking down actin myosin fibers deep with that heavier weight, and then those fibers are growing, multiplying, and it's growing in size. So ideally, when you're training, your goal, I'm not prescribing that probably you should only drift towards this or drift towards this. I myself have done this, I followed up with this, and I've got great response with respect to muscle building and strength. So when you talk about functionality, I always, I'm a huge proponent of functionality. You are training, but you're not just growing. We are building strength, building size. Whereas we are only building size. It's fine, but for me it's not, because I am more on performance. I want that type 2 muscle fibers to fire. I want to control huge weights. I want to control my own weight in different directions. I want to express power potential, express strength in the least amount of time. Okay, so that is what my goals are. If your goals are to gain a huge size, gain it smartly. Don't just drift towards one equation. Okay, ideally in a muscle, both of these act. Even in bodybuilders, we have myofibrils, we have sarcoplasmic. In powerlifters or in strength athletes, we have both sarcoplasmic and myofibril. The only difference is the ratio of myo to sarco. Okay, so we have both in the muscle, and both are required to grow the muscle. So the ideal training template should be, you start with more nervous system inducing challenging compound strength movement to elicit myofibrillar hypertrophy. Once that is taken care of, fill it with blood, fill it with sarcoplasm, do pump sort of reps. Okay, if you've seen Mike O'Hearn's YouTube series of power bodybuilding, when he was introducing it way I think 8 years back, 8 or 9 years back, this is what the same funda was. He was prescribing more number of sets, more weight, less reps, more rest, followed by your typical bodybuilding, 5 sets of 10 or 3 sets of 8 or 12 or something like that. That was power bodybuilding. Myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic blended together to get strength, performance and size. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm happy to help.